The Senate investigates the military's long-term modernization program, devoting a huge chunk of the public hearing to alleged anomalies of the Navy's procurement of new warships worth 16 billion pesos. And despite the issues it's facing, the Defense Department is bent on pursuing the controversial 16 billion peso frigate deal. It is said to be the biggest defense procurement in history. The deal involves anti-air, anti-surface, and anti-submarine warfare equipment, ideal in defending the country's borders.
Because some of our vessels now cannot go into a sea state, what is the sea state 7, yung malalaking alon, hindi nila kaya. But this one, it can go to sea state 7. Ibig sabihin, makapunta sila dyan, makapagtagal sila dyan sa West Philippine Sea, kahit na malalakas ang alon, or even sa may Philippine Rise.
The Defense Secretary adds he merely carried out the procurement process since the previous administration initiated the project in 2013. But Navy officials had opposed how the winning bidder, Hyundai Heavy Industries, was implementing the contract, citing several violations. One of them is former Navy Flag Officer in Command, Vice Admiral Ronald Joseph Mercado, who was unceremoniously dismissed late last year, supposedly for delaying the project.
He was insisting on tacticos, and he said that he will work for the cancellation of the contract kung hindi matuloy yung tacticos of Netherlands.
It is not only the CMS that was the issue on October 2017. There were deliverables required based on the contract to be submitted by Hyundai, which they did not submit on October 2017. So the question is, am I delaying, or were they delaying the project because they did not submit the deliverables?
Malacanang is daring Senator Sonny Trillanes to prove President Duterte attempted to intervene in the almost 16 billion peso Navy frigate deal. Presidential spokesman Harry Roque says Trillanes had his chance in today's Senate probe, but he failed to present anything substantial. Over the weekend, Trillanes said presidential aide Bongo intervened in the controversial deal, and he does not make decisions unless told to do so by the president. But Go told the Senate hearing efforts to implicate him in the deal are part of a bigger plot to taint the president's image.
Ang hamon po kay Senator Trillanes, ilabas ang ebidensya. Nakapagtanong na po siya, wala naman siya linabas na ebidensya.
There's a jam-packed Senate session hall with almost all of the president's men backing the appearance of Special Assistant to the President Bongo. He was at the center of the investigation for allegedly, at least based on several media reports, influencing a Navy frigate deal. Our senior correspondent Ceci Lardizabal has the details.
A confident special assistant to the President, Bongo, arrives at the Senate bearing an instruction from President Duterte.
Kagabi, magkasama kami. Sinabi niya, sabihin mo lang yung totoo. Just focus on the truth.
Almost all the president's men showed up for Go. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque, Communications Secretary Martin Andanar, Communications Assistant Secretary Mocha Uson, Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea, Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre, Foreign Affairs Secretary Alan Peter Cayetano, Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III, Political Advisor Francis Tolentino, Cabinet Secretary June Evasco, Solicitor General Jose Calida, Budget Secretary Ben Diokno, Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, and other government and military officials. This is the first time in 17th Congress that such an attendance was recorded. The gallery was jam-packed as well by other personalities surfacing to show their support for Go. Go is one of those known closest to the president. His involvement in the controversial frigate procurement contract drags the name of the president too.
Ang gabinete po ni Pangulong Duterte ay united. All for one for all po kami.
Go warns of quitting if someone can show proof that he uses influence in the selection of the supplier of the combat management system for the Philippine Navy warships. He blasts the news as malicious and fake.
This is serious. Inintrigan nyo ang Chief of Staff, ang SND, na alam naman natin matatalino at magagalang ang mga to. Ang problema sa fake news na ito, ang satisfaction nilang sumulat ng paninira.
Go also calls out news organizations who wrote about the matter while he defends his principle.
Nagtatrabaho araw-araw kahit sa edad niya. Ito ang Pangulo nagpapakamatay sa bayan. Sana sumulat naman kayo ng magagandang pangyayari. Makakatulog pa ba kayo niyan? Para na rin kayo nakapatay ng tao, makonsensya naman kayo.
Defense Committee Chair Gringo Onasan says for now, senators won't make premature sweeping conclusions on Go's alleged intervention in the deal.
Wala kaming nakikitang so far, ebidensya na nagsasabing pinakialaman, inimpluwensyahan.
But Senator Antonio Trillanes is not giving up on his claims that Malacanang had a hand on the controversial deal.
Malalaman na lang natin yung katotohanan pag meron kalakas ng loob na magsabi ng totoo.
The committee will consolidate all the documents requested from all the resource persons, and then they will gather all the information before doing a re-evaluation. The committee will also determine who the next round of invitees are, but Senator Onasan doesn't think that Bongo should be invited to the next hearing.
The University of Santo Tomas expels 8 law students allegedly involved in the hazing death of Horacio Atio Castillo III. School officials, however, refuse to reveal the students' names, raising doubts on whether or not the expulsions are true. Atio's family, meantime, determined to push their case against the university before the Vatican, which has direct authority over the university, over UST, which is a pontifical university. Our Rex Remigio has that story.
I miss his laughter. I miss him calling me dad.
It's been 5 months since the Castillo couple lost their son Acho through the paddle blows of Aegis Juris fraternity members. But until now, the image of Acho's lifeless body, full of bruises, is still alive in their minds.
Pinahirapan nila, pinatay nila, and then kinover up nila.
Of course, minsan like, okay, you're in a fighting mood, but in the end of the day, pag uwi mo, wala pa rin siya eh.
The University of Santo Tomas has just expelled 8 law students allegedly involved in the case. But for them, this is not enough. For one, the university refuses to name them without giving any reason. The UST Public Affairs Office, in charge of giving statements in behalf of the institution, is also not answering our calls and text messages regarding this question. The couple believes the school administration is still being influenced by some of their legal counsels who happen to be Aegis Juris alumni members.
Maybe it took them a while to come out with an investigation, and ayaw rin nilang i-release yung name, so maybe an influence is there.
These are among the reasons they will push through with their complaint before the Vatican, which has direct authority over UST. Unless the university will publicly reveal the names of the expelled students, dismiss their Aegis Juris lawyers, and ban the fraternity altogether.
We want them to be transparent with their investigation. They must clean up their ranks.
The Justice Department is set to release its resolution on whether there's probable cause to indict and arrest the accused frat members. The Castillos say they will not accept a financial settlement. Instead, they will fight until justice for Acho is achieved.
All the way. All the way.
We're prepared. Sabi nga ni Mini, kahit ikamatay pa namin, that's okay.
Rex Remigio, CNN, Philippines.
UST Law Dean Nilo Divina, in a statement sent to CNN Philippines, acknowledges the authority of the committee that investigated the hazing case. He assures the Faculty of Civil Law will faithfully implement the expulsion order. Divina refused to step down from his post in the college, insisting he was not involved in the hazing incident. The tourists in Boracay support President Duterte's call to clean up the popular tourist destination. The President has given environment officials 6 months to do the job, or he says he's going to shut down the whole island. Tourists say the move would give one of the world's best beaches a chance to heal. Our Angeli Mario has more.
It's home to one of the finest beaches in the world. With its crystal clear waters and powdery white sand, Boracay is a top tourist destination in the Philippines.
I love the beach. The sea is very like transparent. You can see all the rocks, all the corals.
It's a paradise for us, really. In my country, we have many beautiful things, Chile, but not like this. No, really.
Visitors support President Rodrigo Duterte's move to solve the island's pollution problem.
I think it's a really good measure so the island can heal. It can take also it's time to recover from all the people, from all the damage and everything people can do to the island.
Derek and Peach Gray last visited 10 years ago as boyfriend and girlfriend. Now they're back as a married couple with their son.
It's so different from the way we remember it. Too many people, not enough systems in place to maintain the beauty of the island. That's all we're asking for. We just want the pristine beauty of the island, but at the same time, having everything properly managed.
Gray shares an incident that upset them.
Yesterday, we had dinner in a particular restaurant here, and the tables were really messy because obviously a lot of people had eaten there. But we were greatly surprised when the waiter just brushed the food off into the sand.
He says as a Filipino, he felt offended, insulted.
We take pride in the fact that our beach is probably the best in the world, and to have bits of food just brushed off into the sand, and I'm sure this happens on a daily basis. It's a shame.
Local businessman Ken Nakor shares videos by his foreign friends showing black discharge coming out of a drainage pipe.
Which halo siya ng illegal tapping. Plus, kanal na yan like sa streets kasi, gumawa ng kanal yan eh. So, pag umuulan, doon na pupunta lahat. So, walang kalalabasan yung kanal na dito lang lumalabas.
Nakor says it's but fair to impose a 6-month period for violating establishments to comply.
Kung marunong magsalita nga lang yung isla eh. Kung sabihin niya, bugbog na ako eh. Please, bigyan na naman ako ng time mag-heal.
One of the surfers, Warren Vance, also says he has witnessed how the island has deteriorated. Vance adds it's hurting kite surfing business, especially this year.
I can see a big drop.
But not all are happy with the president's warning.
Kung tutol po kami na ipasara ni President yung Boracay, kasi po kawawa po kami dito yung naghahanap buhay na maliliit.
Pida, who makes a living by hair braiding, says people like her will suffer the most.
Kawawa po kami. Yung mga resort, kahit may pera po sila, kami yung maliliit. Sa araw-araw, marami po kaming mawawalan. Wala po kaming tulad ng ipapamasahin namin araw-araw sa mga estudyante namin. Dito lang kami kumukuha.
Rowen Aguirre of the local government of Malay says a task force has conducted operations against these establishments.
Merong mga salaula dyan na mga doon sila nagko-connect. Rather than connecting to the sewer line, na obligado sila dapat na mag-connect din doon kasi meron tayong kaukulang ordinansa dyan.
Aguirre says 11 were found to have violated but were able to eventually comply. And while they're taking the president's words in a more positive light,
I think yung term na cesspool is too strong.
Despite the problems, Boracay still attracts millions of tourists because after a long travel, you'll enjoy your stay in this one-of-a-kind paradise. Now, the president's threat may come as a harsh wake-up call, but everyone involved in preserving the beauty of Boracay knows each has a role to play in keeping the island as pristine as ever.